Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Justin and Brian and Night Attack!
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Brian Brushwood. I am joined right here live on stage by my BFF from OAK. It's JRY, Justin Robert Young. Make some noise for us, because we're great. Is that a good way to ingratiate yourself to the audience?
That ruled. You did a great introduction.
Hold on.
Everybody, give Brian a round of applause for his introduction. I can keep my chips here.
Nailed it. We're the best thing. This is on the writer. I thought it was very specific that you said, I insist that there be a chip holder.
I have 5 chips.
So you made
and now
sure
I have a place to keep them
in the chip
during
holder.
the show exclusively.
Justin Robert Young, I took a cab yesterday. I don't normally do that. Any of you guys take a cab here in Las Vegas? No.
Nobody takes
we're
cabs.
Civilized individuals who took an Uber. And I feel like to tell this story, we have to get our producer, Bryce Neshcom Castillo, up here.
Everybody give Bryce a round of applause.
Clap for this person most of you are meeting for the first time. Okay,
there you go.
Bryce, in 3 words, none of which use the letter E, describe our cab driver.
Horny.
Accurate.
Whoa.
Keep going.
Go up, pause. If I were to guess how many adjectives that you could have said, I would have gotten pretty deep into that list
Before I hit horny.
Before the old H-bomb dropped. We got to horny.
It was accurate, though. It was accurate.
It was. All right, what else?
All right, there's more?
Yeah, oh, no.
Okay,
Keep
so-
going.
So it's just like, nah, anyway, who wants to
Please
go
don't-
to Fucktown?
Don't get ahead of us.
By the way,
get
look,
ahead
don't
of us.
spoil the fucking ending.
Oh my God.
Because that's pretty much what it was like.
So we're going to be like one of those shitty movies that starts with the end? Like,
Yeah, like Inception. Way to go, asshole.
the top falls. Spoiler.
Okay, so horny,
Yes.
wistful.
So far, perfectly accurate.
Yes.
Horny, wistful,
Fishing.
Wait a minute. Is
both
this
metaphorically and actual.
Oh, yeah. It works on a lot of levels.
Is that
so
an
we have-
wait? Hold on, wait. Is that an accurate description of the Notebook, the book and the movie?
Horny, wistful, and fishing.
And
yes.
fishing.
Okay, so we get in the cab. I don't like cabs. I don't like cabs, right?
But they were right there.
But they're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the only thing they have going for it.
They're
the first thing we saw.
I just agree with what our producer said.
Yeah.
So we get in the cab, and the dude, as if I guess in his mind, he lives in a constant radio show where everyone who gets into his cab is there to interview him, and he has things to tell. So within the first 3 minutes,
He's like, the riddle of how you'll get to where you're going lies within me. Ask me these questions 3.
that's right. He put on a genie hat.
Yeah.
And then he asked me 3 riddles.
Come on, then only then will he. Is it a left? Is it a left here?
Yeah. Well, so it started off with just small talk, right? It's like what you asked him
Hi,
was
how's it going? What's your sign?
busy night.
Yeah, sure.
Are you having a busy night?
And busy
And
night
that was
equals that was like the dam bursting. I was like, so busy night? And he goes,
No.
not like it used to be.
Not
It used to be
anymore.
great in this town. And then now, not busy anymore.
Wistful. All right, so everybody keeping track at
Fishing
home.
for sympathy.
Fishing for sympathy, wistful for the good old days. We've yet to really get to the main event, so
So
he lets us know he's leaving town.
yes, okay, instantly enough. How was your
I'm
night
leaving town.
equals everything's garbage. It used to be great. I'm leaving for Boise. I'm like, oh, why Boise? And he's like, I don't know. I've never been there. But my nephew.
My nephew lives
my
there.
My nephew, and he had 3 girlfriends get shot in the head. and after the third. This is.
we've yet to get to horny.
He's already.
You've got to be kidding me.
No.
Because, by the way, I thought it was fucked up when it led with nephew. And that was before we got to the murders.
So the guy says that he's.
Don't describe them. He described at least
the
one of the
murders?
murders.
Detail.
Describe one of the murders.
I mean, one
it's-
of the descriptions may have rhymed with schmexecution style.
Yeah.
Everybody be very quiet and think about what you just laughed at. Go on.
And so, sight unseen, he's never been to Boise.
That's how I like my refried beans, execution style.
So he's going.
We got a yellow card.
Yellow card for
That's it. I'm never going to Waffle House again.
So he explains because his nephew has a habit of seeing his girlfriends
Brutally murdered in front of him.
And he's
Who
now
is this sad sack like a reverse Forrest Gump? Like instead of
I can tell you this much. I know he was 61 because he kept telling us because that means he gets to retire next year. So whatever job he gets in Boise, he's not going to give a shit about it. He's not going to give a shit about it.
What he really wants is to quit a job
and
just say,
hey,
"Stuff
fuck you, man." Like he was the walking embodiment of that 1970s song, "Take This Job and Shove It."
yeah, he's just he has that in his head.
And then he
at
wants
all
to go
times.
play the Bad News Bears in the Astrodome. With that, one person remembers that. It's fine.
Let them play. Let them play. I was the guy.
So we hear this and by the way, it is a 1 mile drive from the Orleans to here. It's
not
It's
far.
a 1 mile drive, so he has to pack all this in.
Whoa, wait.
Yes.
This entire time I was imagining this as your trip from the airport to the Orleans,
This dude
which
knew,
is
this guy was on the fast track to heartbreak. He was like, I have to make everyone regret being in my cab, and I got to do it right the fuck now.
So he's given us the sob story and the all the downers,
this
right?
isn't even like a sob story. This is like a macabre, like an Eli Roth movie.
It's an Edgar Allan Poe short story.
But with like no transition, he starts telling us about the great days.
He's like, yeah, exactly.
It used to
When
be
it used to be great.
great.
Before Uber and Lyft.
Ooh.
This town used to be hopping.
So he just rolls right in. It's just like, anyway, I'm a disaffected, weird cab driver. My nephew watched a bunch of people get murdered, and I'm going to
See,
move
the
to
thing-
Boise. But back in the day,
You got the voice pretty close, also.
So he's like, man, I tell you what, like unbidden. There's no encouragement from the
No.
two of us. We're just like we're outside of your perfunctory used to be great. Not so. That's tough. Competition, free market capitalism. And then he says, man, you don't understand. We used to be. Man, I had 2 girls, 69 each other, in those very seats you're sitting in.
No, it was less insidious than that because he just said in the back seat.
In the back.
Which like,
also
we're
happens
sitting here.
And he goes, and then the weirdest metaphor ever. He's like, this one girl, she was so horny. I just the entire way, I was turning that radio dial.
And so Brian is
No,
sitting
no,
opposite.
I don't know what this means. Right?
Brian is sitting
he starts
opposite
making
to the driver.
the Russian mob symbol for money.
Right.
And he's like, turning them radio knobs.
But he's doing it this close to Brian's face.
are you in the front
He
or
is
the
turned
back?
I'm in the back.
He's in the back.
He
He's
leans
turning
back.
around
to
he makes
show
sure-
us.
Yeah.
So he's not.
Turning the radio knob. Turning the radio knob.
Turn.
Yeah,
hold on,
all right, now, okay.
Wait,
Okay, all right.
We're gonna figure out.
All right. Capitalism is a real punch in the gut,
Here,
right?
get back there, Hoots.
It's hard to work for a living.
So you're on this side.
Yeah, back in the day, bunch of girls, 69 and in the back. One girl was so horny, I was just turning those radio dials.
Yes!
Shockingly
Turning those
Shockingly
radio
close.
dials.
Okay, and that's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part was the follow-up.
Hold on, let that sit.
The disturbing part was the wistful, longing way.
He did it for a really long time.
He goes, so tight. and then the follow-up, he goes,
Who wants a loose radio dial?
She asked me to do it even tighter. And then I guess he was tweaking a nipple. That's what it like only about
Yes,
like,
Brian.
as long
Yes.
Hey man. Some ladies come with radio dials. I don't know how ladies work.
Like Metropolis. Jesus. So that was.
Oh, all right. Quick breather. So he's talking about how, just so we all understand
The
what's
good old
happening.
days.
In the good old days.
In the good old days.
She was, there was a girl, excuse me, I'm coming from a casino to somewhere else. I'm very horny. Would you mind if you...
In my mind, she's wearing a mustache, like as a disguise. Hello, I am a lady.
Yeah, no, she's literally the Monopoly man, and she like walks into this
Removes
cab.
the monocle.
Yeah, like anyway.
Would you be happening to go to Flamingo Avenue? Because I need my radio dial changed, if you know what I mean.
How does one even like broach that subject?
Apparently,
Again,
the dude had no filter.
just
no
small
filter.
talk. Just busy night tonight.
No. I mean, like, if somebody wanted, let's say somebody here in the audience, leaving this venue, wanted to get their nipples tweaked by their cab driver.
Yeah. So you're sitting back there and you're like, you try to broach it like peripherally. You're like, you ever change that radio station?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Rather
It's like,
abruptly,
hey,
left to right?
Yeah, can you change that radio station? Oh, no, that's not good. NPR? No. The rap station? No. Like, maybe that's not the knob. Like, maybe
Am I the knob?
I'm the knob.
All right, so this guy was sad. He being in the cab was
Well, and he was when we finished that ride. He was.
Which, by the way, for everybody listening right now, is easily only 5 minutes, if that.
What do you mean?
The ride from the Orleans
travel-
to
We've
here.
taken longer describing the story
Yes.
than it took for him to unload.
150%, yes.
But the cab ride was just filled with despair, and I got the strong sense that he's like, anyway, see you later.
Yeah,
may or may
No,
not
he
be alive
definitely was
when you
not.
see me again.
This was not a special ride for him.
Right, no.
I'm sure he's told this story many times.
He's dead. I think he's dead.
What?
I think he turned that last radio knob.
Right, it
God.
was 16
He's
hours
he's
ago.
up there in heaven.
No, wait a minute,
tweaking
wait a minute,
God's
wait a minute.
nipples really hard.
What if
So tight.
what if the next cab you take,
Brings it back to life.
Is the
No.
is
You're
the cab
like,
home.
you're like, oh man, this is a great cab ride. I had this really weird cab driver. He was talking about how good it used to be, and he was turning them radio dials. All of a sudden, like, stop. What'd you say?
Oh, it's a ghost cab.
Yeah. Like, oh, he said he was turning them radio dials.
The calls are coming from
old-
inside the cab.
Old radio knobs died in 1981.
So can I compare that experience? Like, we already thought, man, we got a story for Night Attack. We're going to talk about this sad cabbie.
Yeah.
Then we came here, saw the wonderful show last night.
Yeah.
Then we took
a
a
lift.
lift.
A
Took a lift.
lift.
Took a lift to heaven, tweaking God's nipples. So tight.
Real tight.
Took a lift back to the hotel.
So-
Oh my God. I was like, tighter. I'm God.
I have reverb.
I'm under a fan.
So, if based just on what I told you about the cab ride,
Yeah.
how would you imagine to complete this story? Because spoiler alert, the lift ride was a little different than the cab ride. What do you think the lift ride?
I
looked
mean,
like?
number one, a cab is in a more standardized kind of vehicle. I would imagine this would be in maybe a Corolla or a hybrid car of some sort. Probably that'd be the first thing.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I would think that probably
was a
people are.
Matrix.
Well, like you know that like Uber and Lyft drivers will do like extra stuff, right? Like they'll have waters, or sometimes they'll have candy.
Number one, extra stuff, as we've learned, is a bit of a double-edged sword.
Sounds like the cab company did extra stuff. No extra charge.
It's like,
right.
somebody call my name?
So,
Radio knobs.
first of all,
As you're at the seance, like, I feel my nipple being tweaked.
so we get in. We call the lift,
Yeah.
and it's like it's not a cab. And by the way, fucking cabs, fuking cabs. That
Thank
stupid,
God
that
it's not a
stupid, that
cab.
stupid dance of like I get out and I'm like, so I guess I give you money now. This is weird. I would like rides to feel free. And he's like, get back in the seat. And I was like, what? And he's like, get back in the seat now.
That's where the card
No, don't
swipe
swipe.
is.
Do the chip. And then it's like, and then with him staring at me, he's like, so which of these tip options do you
Oh
want?
yeah, he was walking Brian through the payment process like with perfect timing.
Okay,
with expediency.
Understanding that he is, and specifically as you've gone through all this,
Right.
he is an overbearing person. But you've literally just described the black and white portion of an infomercial.
There's got to be a better way.
Tired of this?
Tired of having your nipples tweaked and 69ing in the back of a cab, then being told to pick your payment option. So we
Chip, not swipe. Yeah. That's actually.
So the lift shows up. Lift shows up.
Yeah.
We hear the music, the bass thumping in the background.
Right.
Comes up. Dude shows up. Not white.
Well, Jesus.
What the fuck?
Go on.
I prefer a little diversity in my drivers. I'm sorry if you disapprove
Hold on.
of that, Mom.
Wait, you really?
No,
Jesus.
I'm taking high
Christ.
ground I don't deserve.
Is that what that would be?
Sure. Or pandering, it's fine. Dude shows up. We get in.
All the not whites, put your hands up.
White people, you sit still.
About the ride, please.
So
we get in.
We get in, and the guy starts driving, and
And then we notice.
we're all smiles, and then we notice this big gizmo. It looks like an iPad, but it's not. And
It
it
was
just
an
says,
iPad.
"Ask me."
Sorry.
Get off
It
the
was fine.
stage.
Fuck off.
So white.
Ask me about.
Ask me about karaoke. And so I was like, well, what's karaoke? And
But
as
hold
if
up,
it's the most new.
whoa. I want to hear this as loud as possible. Say exactly what you said, and then be quiet because I want to hear the audience as they react.
Ask me about karaoke. Hey man, it is
That
not
was
past
like The
midnight,
Walking
and you are
Dead.
not drunk
It was
enough. It's
amazing.
fine.
All right, so ask me about karaoke.
And so I ask about hey, wow, karaoke, what's that? And
Come on, we've set up.
This is great.
Like it or not, it's the fucking Rocky Horror Picture Show now. So we're just gonna roll with it.
And so, as if it's the most casual thing in the world, he's like, "Oh yeah, what song would you like?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And then just name it in the ether. I will pull it down, and you will sing it. And then all of a sudden, there's a microphone with a full-on XLR setup, and he holds it to his mouth, and all of a sudden, it sounds like we're in a goddamn arena stadium with the echo, and he's just like, "It's time for karaoke, okie, okie, okie." And he hands me the mic, and I'm like, "What am I gonna not?" Do karaoke?
I mean, you did ask. Yeah.
If you don't want to hear it, then don't say it.
I'm gonna move to Boise. Fuck you. So I'm like, well, you got any Beastie Boys? And then
And he did. He had a lot of Beastie Boys.
And then he pulled up. And I was like, well, I guess. And again, it's like,
Who's in this car, by the way?
It's me, it's Brian, and it's Sunny.
yeah.
All right,
In
hold
the
on,
car.
hold on. Wait a minute. Real talk. Sonny and Bryce, were you like the audience? And like when you heard karaoke, you did not want to hear it. This is Brian.
This was a very Brian
I can't
focused.
not.
You can
It's
say-
that they handed me a mic, and I'm just. He's like, Jesus, what am I gonna not? I can't.
And so you did.
And so. Here's the best part, though, is that there's good karaoke versions of songs.
Yeah.
And there's less good ones.
Sure.
This one was definitely like the
Less
MIDI
good.
version of Intergalactic.
Yeah.
Where it's like, there was no words. It's just like.
So this wasn't even like in the style of.
No. And then I'm like, don't you tell me to. And I'm trying to do it. And then the Lyft driver is just like really trying to help because like there's moments that they rap fast. Those Beastie Boys did.
Sure.
And I would fall behind, and he would while driving like. Another dimension, new galaxy, intergalactic planet. Come on, you got this. He's cheering for me.
Let's go ahead and go to the scorecard. At the point that you are talking about in the story, you have two of the passengers, half of the people in the car, feeling that karaoke is exactly that. And then you have one eager Brian Brushwood to be doing Intergalactic.
It was not eager. It was rising to the challenge like a champion, resplendent.
Exactly that, and one dance mom, like eagerly goosing you along.
So anyway, you want to hear it?
You want to hear it a little bit?
Wait a minute. Do you guys want to hear Brian doing karaoke?
Half of them shouting no.
Yes.
Also, let me point out there was a moment like the ride is over and the song is not finished, and the guy stops and he's like, "Hey, so if you give me your email, I can send this to you because I've been videoing you this whole time."
Yeah, the iPad was recording it.
And I was like, please don't. And then both Sonny and Bryce are like, yeah, you don't need to. We got it.
No, we got it.
And I looked at the two cameras on
So
me.
you had a 3-camera shoot.
Yes.
Right. So here's a little bit
Jesus, no, please don't. I don't.
Pause it. If you could have a choice right now to either play the rest of that
undoing the
entire
rest of the
song.
show?
No. You have two paths in a wood, right?
I take the path less traveled.
Either you play the rest of that song right now for everybody, or you have that old cabbie tweak your nipples.
Two words, my friend.
So tight. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Bryce Neshcom Castillo.
Shall we bring out our special guests?
Well, should we do the Patreon thing?
No.
Patreon.com/Nathatech. Okay. That was it.
Best pitch. Super pro.
Yeah.
Hey, man, being here at ScoopFest has been an extraordinary situation because it has felt the entire time like, imagine if you went on Maury Povich and
Go on.
and the DNA test came back that you were the father, and also, here's your family reunion. It's been a bit like, oh wait, this is the family that we didn't know that we had.
Yeah.
And so we'd like to bring up the rest of our nuclear family. Can we get Paul and Matt of Ice Cream Social up here on stage?
Ice Cream Social. These guys are great. You should really listen to them.
Yeah, we highly endorse.
These guys are
their show
amazing.
and our products.
Holy shit.
You really got all these live guys to start checking us out.
It's always such an honor to break new talent.
It's very rare to be welcomed as a guest onto a podcast when you're stealing their entire business model.
Yeah.
So I think it's really, including one of us becoming a magician. So like, I really am so thrilled.
I'll teach you the haircut next. This might be nice.
Yeah, what's your gel? Okay.
Guys, I have breaking karaoke news.
No!
My wife, who worked in retail for many years, still does. She's just transitioned into a new position, but at her previous employ, just a week ago it ended, she worked with, for many years, a woman whose husband drives an Uber equipped with a karaoke. Yeah! So I am 2 degrees from this dude. I have heard of his various exploits. Did he also try and hype you up to like follow him and get some more like?
He didn't have time, man.
Okay.
I just started weeping openly and left.
Yeah.
Paul actually
Was there a
Ubers.
disco ball in there?
I don't remember.
All right.
No,
Okay.
we're saying no.
Paul actually Ubers.
There's competition on these
There might
corners.
be. There might be. There
Paul
might
just,
be.
Paul just Ubers around the block. And he just slowly records an album day after day.
It's not an album. It's Mandy over and over again. Barry Manilow's seminal classic Mandy. Every time.
Honey, I'm gonna take
once
an Uber.
a day.
I need a good cry.
Yep.
By the
Just
way,
get the Uber and you just sing Mandy, come around.
That's
the
it.
park.
you know, seminal classics were apparently what the cab driver really recollected. So,
So tight.
all right, so we're gonna do a game we like to call "Don't Get Brodied." It is effectively competitive storytelling, right,
yeah,
Brian?
think about bull riding. Basically, most people tell a story and you get a little bit of leeway as long as there's a big payoff. You may not get to your payoff. So just make sure that it's a good story right from the very beginning. Like the bell rings, and if you fail, then you'll hear Neil Cicerega's Brody Quest song play that will mean you failed. And it goes like, there it is. There we go. That's a bad song. I mean, it's a good song, but it's bad when you hear it.
Okay.
You should feel bad.
Okay.
We want that to not happen.
So tight.
So here's what's going to happen. We have our panel of 4 here. Ice Cream Social and Night Attack united finally. And we are going to have our thumbs at the middle.
I feel like John McCain.
Yes.
Constantly.
The ghost of 24-hour references.
All right, so if anybody has any story that you think is good, please don't be offended when you lose. But just line up. There's which over here? There you go. Where Bryce is waving.
So right over there. And by the way, even if your story lasts 2 seconds, you are the champion until somebody goes
That's right.
3 seconds.
It depends on. In fact, let me get the timer. I forgot that we time all
Yeah,
this
yeah.
crap. I should really know.
All right, so we need stories.
Oh, shit.
Does anybody have a?
That's the dude. I just got the lift thing. That's the guy.
That's him. That's him.
Wait, you know this
That's
the
him.
guy?
That's him. That's him. I got something extra to tell you off air. That's him.
And he would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
That's him.
And now it just opens up another mystery, which is what happened to the disco ball.
I'm sure it was.
Turns out it blinded him one too many times.
Yeah.
He's just driving with
knocked out
lasers
some
in his
dude.
eyes. Yeah. Okay, so I got a timer.
Okay.
All right, do we have stories? Who's in line?
But I think
Literally nobody.
Oh, yeah.
inviting
We might have
Scoops
scared
up
him.
for
Here we go.
possible
No, here we go. Here we go.
rejection.
Here we go. Here we go.
Okay,
Story's
Here we
coming.
go.
All right.
All right, so if we get bored at
We
any
got people.
time,
We got people.
Just the moment any one of us goes out, right? So
That's it.
We all have the switches to the nuclear codes.
Yeah.
All right, hey buddy, what's your name?
I would rather not share.
Oh, that's smart man.
Then come
This
up
guy's
with
ready.
what's a nickname? Give us a
Give us
nickname
a
or a
name.
code name.
Scooperman.
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 All right.
All right, do me a favor, buddy. Don't get brodied.
Okay. This story is called $500 for a disappointing low five on the wiener.
Seeing some semis in here.
Our story begins on my couch at home, alone. I knew I was coming out here to Vegas, so I decided to check the internet, see what I could do in town, and stumbled across a lovely Asian lady. So I sent her a text, and lo and behold, I got an appointment. So then I fly into town. I fly into town, I get to my hotel room, let her know what room number I'm in, and she shows up, not the girl from the photos on the internet.
Get out of town.
Now I've heard everything.
we have discussed on the cast how many of those girls are dead in those photos. Those pictures are the same that they have used for decades.
Yes, I found that out the hard way.
1978 still making royalties. All right, good.
Yeah. So I really don't know what I was expecting, but yeah. So
How old?
how old the girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
How old the girl? How old the girl?
How old girl?
Face look old, body look young. Leg old, arm old. How face look? How mouth? Mouth old? Old look mouth, old mouth taste? Taste mouth?
Answer his questions.
She's about the right age. It wasn't, you
The
know.
right age? The right age? The right
Holy shit.
2 minutes minutes, 20 seconds.
All right.
Not bad.
That's a long ride. No, we got that's a hell of a challenger right there. That might hold. We're here.
That was with an assist, too. Those are some pretty good steroids you gave him.
I just like the idea of like being with someone who's older, but being like, no, she had the youngest mouth.
Guys, I know.
No.
Don't look at her eyes.
I know you're saying like she looks old, but she has the youngest mouth you've ever seen.
Yeah, go past. I'm giving a
Mouth
5.
of a 12-year-old.
Thanks, Father.
All right, where are we going now?
I just gave a $5 Orleans chip to that man. you are a winner
now
in
that
my
hand
book.
job's only
nice.
$495.
All right.
Does she
caller,
take chips?
Caller, you're on the air. What do you want to be called?
Let's go with Patrick today.
Patrick today.
Patrick
today.
today.
All right, Patrick today. Don't get brodied.
All right, my story's called How to Mess with an Overseas English Teacher.
How to what?
Mess with an
overse-
overseas English teacher.
Okay.
I
How
basically,
old was her mouth?
problem was, it's a guy, so I can't win that one. So basically, I get my dream vacation about 2 years back. I'm out of Osaka. I basically just finished seeing the Osaka Castle. I'm taking a break. I get a teacher followed by about 10 bright-eyed school children following him. And basically, yes,
I'm so
do you speak
sorry.
to me about English? I lose. I can't win that one.
I tried.
You gotta tease
I
that
tried.
punch. You gotta tease that punch. All right.
Yeah,
40
listen.
seconds. Could do worse.
I mean, again, it's about the craft, right? You gotta
Respect the art, man.
you gotta get in. You gotta pop early.
All right, caller, you're on the air. What's your name?
Andrew.
All right, Andrew, don't get brody.
So my story today is called After Work Delight. Now this is late at night, about 10:15. I'm waiting for my bus behind my work. This drunk ass girl comes walking up the road.
I like to imagine she's like swaggering, like an old gunslinger.
I'm already picturing her like no cars in the street, like she's in the middle of the road.
Oh yeah.
Like, just,
She does stroll out to the middle of the road.
yeah, she's one with a tumbleweed. Just-
Exactly.
She's like flag at the end of the stand.
She's whistling like Omar in The Wire.
Drunk girl coming.
Now,
Got that
de-
chlamydia.
Got that clap.
she's definitely coming from wherever. Squats down in the middle of the road.
Wait. Did you just get like racist against wherever? I don't even know where it is that you are disparaging.
I like that. She's definitely coming from wherever. No doubt in my mind.
Totally.
100%.
Let's be clear.
100%.
Let's be
For
clear.
sure.
There's definitely a point A before. I'm definitely point B for sure.
Not here.
All right.
Squats down in the middle of the sidewalk. Drops her
four
underwear and
thumbs going
starts
fully
peeing in the
erect.
middle of the sidewalk.
Sorry, what?
She starts peeing in the middle of the sidewalk.
Just peeing?
I can see her full everything, crotch out, short dress.
Yeah, he turns into Patrick Stewart. He's like, it's too late. It's too
late, I've seen it all.
Bus driver pulls up, sees this entire show going on with me. I said, well, we're both like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah?
I feel like you both knew, but go on.
I mean, there isn't exactly a lot of mystery
There's
here.
a lot of mystery here.
It's not going to take long to crack this case.
Gets up, walks up to the bus entrance, gets on, asks the bus driver if she can get a free ride to wherever she's going because she forgot whatever change. Bus driver's like, you're too drunk. Go home.
Wait, how are you gonna get home?
Too drunk to ride a bus?
Yeah.
What kind of a bus driver?
No, I'm judging.
It's really more about the bus driver than you, though.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, that's 2
wait,
minutes.
If drunks weren't
28
allowed on the
seconds.
bus, that story did not happen in Las Vegas. I'll tell you that much right now.
Wait a minute. Where was the last one?
No. This is a new champion. New champion right over
champion
here.
right there.
228.
228.
Congratulations, P-Bus.
You're number one.
E P-Bus Unum.
And we didn't even find out how young the mouth of the bus driver was.
As it dropped a gape. All right, who do we got here?
I am Polly Scoop.
Hi, Polly Scoop.
Hi, Polly Scoop.
Do us a favor. Don't get ready.
All right, so this story is called Two Wizards and a Fox Girl. So the alternative title is The Best Night of Sex of My Life. Two wizards and a fox girl. Okay.
In that case, I'm just gonna throw your clock away.
It's like, well, first, I hailed the cab.
Me and my girlfriend Jennifer.
We had no idea what radio station we were.
All right, so all this takes place at a pirate festival in the middle of a backwoods city where everybody's like, let's all dress like pirates and drink a shit ton, and so I'm in this
I'm
rockin'.
sorry, are you protecting the honor of this city by not saying it?
I'm protecting my own hometown.
Okay.
Gotcha. But let's just say for the
Boise,
story,
Idaho.
Yeah. Let's pretend this takes place in Boise.
sure.
Except
Let's
outside
just call
Boise.
it Schmalabama.
Right.
Rhymes with Bleniopolis.
How many of these pirates were shot in the head, Smexecutioner style?
I don't know, but I do know that they have a slave auction at the pirate festival.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Yeah.
Everyone's
Hey, baby, this is
consenting. Everyone's
Schmalabama.
consenting, I promise.
Bro,
Yeah, you got
No,
to
everyone's consenting to this.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm the only one.
No, he did. He did. Yeah,
Okay.
he called it.
Guys, if you guys want to overrule the guy who didn't like the slave auction thing, go ahead.
This is not a venue for high roading. What is this?
I got very disinterested in the sex story if it involved the slave auction.
By the way, definitely Schmalabama.
All right, next up, who do we got?
Oh, wait, hold on.
You made it a minute 40.
You can call me Manfred.
Hold on, can you say that exactly how you just said that again? That was amazing.
You may call me Manfred.
All right, Manfred.
The title of this story
Hold
is...
on, wait a minute. It sounds like Manfred's gonna solve all the mysteries in the previous story.
These stories have all been fine, but one common thread leads me to my deduction.
I was dusting for prints at a pirate festival.
When I found the taxi medallion from Las Vegas, Nevada.
And a pirate
No one
chain-
leaves the room. There's been an Uber.
Turns out the Asian of indeterminate age was, in fact, not a hooker, but a hook. She was there for the pirate festival.
And she made her getaway singing Intergalactic at karaoke.
I
And then he
located missing
twirls
bus
his cape
fare
and walks
in a
out.
pile of urine.
Manfred solves another one.
The title of this story is Don't Split a Room at the Anime Convention.
Go on, Manfred.
Yes, go ahead. Do tell.
I ride the elevator up to my floor, put my key in the card, open it, and I'm hit with a wall of stink that can only be described somewhere in between
Anime convention and anime convention.
Basically. Somewhere in between middle school gym locker and pimento loaf.
No need to be redundant.
I am in love with Manfred.
I love you too, buddy. The wall of stink hits me as I walk into the tiny room that I'm splitting with 6 other people for the weekend.
Just real quick, did you grow up in AM radio? I'm just trying to. Your voice is amazing.
I did 4 years of theater. I've been a dungeon master
don't
for many
say.
years.
Stop. Keep going.
I've done community improv.
All right.
Yeah.
So far, we've rolled out a nice list of lack of surprises.
By the way, my karaoke car is waiting. That wasn't for you, Manfred.
True or
It's a running
false?
joke.
True or false? You could do a Shakespeare monologue for us right now.
Yes.
Go.
All right. The witches scene from, what was that, Hamlet? Or, yeah. Macbeth.
Classic trap.
You broke it. it! You broke the story!
Classic trap, Manfred. You fell into it.
Well, you did say out loud the Scottish play, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
We're in a theater. Show some respect.
It's a big stretch to call this theater.
We're in a room with
Is
chairs.
Manfred the new champion?
Yes, Manfred with 3 minutes is the new champ.
All right.
$5 chip.
$5 chip.
Quantity, not quality, baby.
That is actually just a coupon for a terrible hand job.
At the gas station, terrible.
Yeah, Terrible's hand jobs.
I didn't mean terrible. I mean terrible's hand job.
Yep.
It's at the highest end of the car
All right,
wash
is this our last competitor? Do we got
No, I
maybe
think
one more
we
after
got
this?
time, unless there's something else you want to do.
All right,
All right,
yeah,
call
yeah,
me
yeah.
on the
Two
air.
more.
What's
All right,
your name?
Smitty.
Smitty.
All right, Smitty. Don't get Brody.
All right, I guess the title of my story would be Dating Mistakes at 40. As a little backstory.
Quick pause. Did you see all 4 of us like? Is that an up or a down?
Yeah, we were
we're all
my
judging.
sympathy was like, yeah, but also like,
I was like,
okay.
well, yeah.
I mean, dating mistakes at 40. Dating.
Yeah.
That's the
I feel like dating
mistake.
mistakes are timeless.
All right, you're still in.
Well, I didn't intentionally date at 40. 6 months ago, I found out my wife had been having an affair with a neighbor for 2 years, so...
Fucking Chad! It's fucking Chad!
We do live in Henderson.
What neighborhood again, Smitty?
We live in Henderson,
Southeast.
Southeast Henderson, by Pecos, I think. It's a great story. They're in the same. My daughters are in the same class. I coached his daughter on the soccer team.
Ew.
So
Keep going.
So I'm getting onto Tinder and Bumble and trying to figure this stuff out. And I've been out of the game for a while. And I thought, you need to manscape.
You saved it. I'll take your lift.
Now I'm picturing your neighbor having the most beautifully shaved balls. Like you were just missing that component.
No, my wife was having sex with him. I wasn't shaving his balls. Like that. I'm talking about me.
All right, and then I really got to wrap my head around the story.
Where's Manfred when we need him?
Go.
So apparently you really need to read the labels on the stuff.
On what
What
stuff?
stuff?
What stuff?
I thought Nair would be a nice touch.
For the podcast listeners, no. We have had half the table literally run.
No.
Well, you may all think you know this, but when I Googled what happens if you put Nair on your scrotum, a lot of entries. A lot of people have made this same mistake.
Hold. Wait. Did you think to do that before?
Of course not.
Okay. All right.
All right, so you're putting Nair on your balls and go.
To help your dating life.
I've been out of the game for a while. I don't know.
All right.
Forgive her for being optimistic.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the
All
date
right.
went well, but as soon as she sees these smooth eggs, it's going to be...
I don't know what these new millennials do, but apparently teabagging is always first.
It's going to be
little how do you do?
perfectly rounded like an Apple product, you know?
The eyeballs.
My eyeballs.
You've never seen eyeballs this smooth.
I mean, when I was last dating, women still had pubic hair, so I don't know how this works anymore.
That's a good point. You actually kind of did like a full arc. You kind of... All right, go ahead.
Go.
The hero's journey.
So if you're wondering, it burns for about 3 to 4 days.
Jesus.
Oh!
All right, I think you punched out. That was it. 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Congratulations, our new reigning champion.
Someone get that man and his burnt balls this $5 chip here.
Old bird balls.
Old bird balls.
And in the smoldering wreckage of where
spend that
there
on
used to be
aloe.
balls.
Hey, caller, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, I'm Isaac. That's going to be a hard one to follow. But my story is called Alan Jackson.
You don't admit defeat on round one, man.
Didn't even start the story.
All right, wait.
Okay, cool. The story is called Alan Jackson is Watching and Loves You.
I'm sorry, Alan Jackson?
Alan Jackson, country singer.
The country music
Yes.
star?
He loves you
Of
and he's
Chattahoochee fame?
Yeah, sure.
Way down yonder?
Yeah.
And you say he was watching?
I just want you to know my
He's
Jersey
watching
thumb
and
is
he loves
drifting
you.
down.
So this is a prank story, okay? So I collected a whole bunch of these posters from a closing out CD store of Alan Jackson, standing on a barrel, looking into the distance, right? And I've got the code to my buddy's McMansion. So I sneak into his place one day when he's gone, put these posters up all over his fucking house. In the closet, in the bathroom, in his personal bathroom, just a head of Alan Jackson in one section, just a crotch in another section. All over the fucking house. The weight room, everything. Now, what makes this good is that I've never played a prank on this guy. Ever. This is like the first prank I've ever done. So he gets home and he's freaking right the fuck out. He has no idea who's gotten into his house. There's only like 4 or 5 people that even have the code.
And you're not even on the list of suspects.
No. Well,
Manfred didn't
I'm
figure
on
out it was you.
No, Manfred didn't figure it out. Wasn't
I was
figured out for a
close
few
now.
months.
I was very close.
To sleep, perchance to dream.
If it wasn't for Donnelly's Dare of a Shakespeare monologue, I would have had it. Donnelly's Dare.
Alan Jackson, my greatest foe, we meet again.
So posters fucking everywhere, all over the place. I get a call almost immediately. Hey, was it you, Isaac? Was it you? No, man, that's crazy. I don't know who did that. It was me. Okay, fine. Just checking.
Did
Keeps
you
on
at
going
least
through.
entertain the notion that it might have been actually Alan Jackson?
It could have been out, yeah.
No?
Anyway, doesn't figure it out for months on end. I find out for about 3 weeks. After that, he'd been sleeping with a rifle underneath his bed. I freaked him right the hell out on this thing, right? And I'm getting ready to plan a second prank. This one is going to be Beyonce-based.
Beyonce-based pranks.
And MP3 players all over the house.
Wait. One question. Did you get shot?
I did not get shot. But
Move
I got
on!
That's it. The only answer I wanted was like anytime his song came on, he fired his weapon. He became a Manchurian candidate under the Alan Jackson music.
Whenever Alan Jackson played.
Alan Jackson must kill.
Do we have time for one more? Is there one more competitor, or do we declare our
That's it.
winner?
I think that
That
was
was it. That was it. Hey, thank you to everybody
So wait,
participating.
who won?
in
Whoa,
Don't Get Brody.
whoa.
Dark Horse.
Oh my God, swaggering to the microphone.
Sorry, I was
The
hungover.
plastic bag. He's
Almost
about to
couldn't make
pee
it
on
up
the
here.
floor and get on a bus.
Sir, you understand you're going to be our final competitor here on Don't Get Brodied. Who is our champion, by the way?
Smitty.
Smitty.
Smitty and his
right
4-day
there.
aching balls.
With his
Aching balls.
the old fire burnt wreckage of his balls.
Wait, Jacob, the audio guy.
Balls looking like a Daenerys dragon rolled through it.
Yes.
Like
He swaggered up to the microphone, looks over at my table full of sound gear, and just sets his drink right down on it.
Tell you what,
Is this the harrowing story of how you survived that encounter? All right, go ahead. Don't get Brody.
swag? All right, sir, what is your name? It is you versus Smitty.
Oh, I'm Roman.
Hello,
Roman. It's a
Roman.
better name than Smitty, you're in.
What is your story? Don't get Brody.
We had just finished our annual cabin poker tourney. 60, 70 people in the middle of Siren, Wisconsin, in the woods. We had special guests that year. 4 stockbrokers from New York.
Oh, God.
All Italian stereotypes. The smallest, named Paulie, was like a dollar store version of Al
You called it. You're going to be that guy standing on a soapbox?
I mean, like, all right, I don't want to workshop it, but like, you know. Let's get the lead. Let's get the lead.
The strip
Like,
club was called the Rocky Raccoons.
That's okay.
Let's
We're
start
gonna-
with that. That's
All
your
right, here.
first line.
We're
Let's-
gonna,
well, yeah.
we're gonna turn back time.
Turn back time?
We're gonna turn back time.
We're gonna find a way.
We were drinking all day while playing poker.
Okay, so it is So can I help him a little more?
Yes, no,
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Let's.
So-
It's a
No,
new bit.
now-
Dissecting Brody.
Now we are openly workshopping this story. Yes.
And this really feels like we're really hating Schmitty by like we're turning back time, we're workshopping, we're
Yeah.
really trying to take this away from Schmitty. But so it is taking 4 drunk stockbrokers to the Rocky Raccoon Strip Club. That's the title.
They
of
took
this.
us.
Huh?
They were like kids in a candy store being out in the woods.
I mean,
kids.
He's
He's out.
He's like, press the button, press the button.
How's it work, monkey?
There it is. I don't know. Hey, man, thank you so much.
There we go, yeah.
Go get Brody.
I would have never imagined that New York stockbrokers would be into strip clubs. That's weird.
Stockbrokers getting drunk and disrespectful of women? What? Tell me more.
No, I saw Wolf of Wall Street. That's just not.
Exactly.
No.
You know when
Oh, shit. Finally playing.
Who's talking last? Am I done? Am I out?
Hey,
get Manfred on the case.
it occurs to me that a lot of the folks listening are familiar with our silly podcast, but have not yet experienced Ice Cream Social. How do you guys? What's your elevator pitch when you do it?
Our elevator pitch?
I mean the people who are listening in the future. I'm talking about future people, not you.
Yeah. You guys have heard of Ice Cream Social, right?
It's the newest karaoke.
I love how everybody hates it. Everybody hates that idea from the jump. That's hilarious.
James Corden is just weeping right now.
My empire.
Our elevator pitch is like, don't bother. It's a waste of your time.
It's okay. I got in trouble with Justin for having pretty much the same pitch. I used to say like 12 people listen to us talk about butts and poop, and then they don't like it. Nobody likes it. So now I've switched to a much more approachable. I run a cult, and they will all die for me. Steal that too.
By the way, does somebody have a bottle opener? Somebody can throw a bottle opener up here.
Is that on a twist top?
Is it not?
It's in your scoop bag.
Probably not.
It is in your scoop bag.
Oh yeah, we got one in the scoop bag.
Oh, nice.
That guy just threw
Give that
shuriken
here.
at you. That wasn't even.
Have a $5 chip.
That's not a bottle opener. He
There
just
you
killed
go.
you with Chinese stars. He was like, here, try this.
Nice.
My family is avenged.
Got it.
We usually actually push what ends up being the smallest and least interesting part of our podcast, which is the jock versus nerd thing.
What, but that was like the original conceit, right?
Originally, we thought that was going to be the whole podcast. Yeah. And now it's the last 10 minutes.
So wait, hold on, wait.
Part of it is
Explain.
that I became a terrible jock. I had 2 kids, so like I stopped watching sports.
I became a terrible jock. I stopped punching the nerds.
Yeah.
No more wedgies.
Exactly.
I let the crusty old dean get in my head.
Yeah. I started watching Designing Women.
Started respecting other races.
I voted for Gary Johnson.
I finally put that weird varsity jacket in my closet and got a regular jacket.
You're still rocking the high school jacket. So you became a lousy jock.
Yeah, and we also found out that like just being in Vegas entertainment, like Vegas is its own world that people are curious about. So we slowly became a behind the scenes of the local Vegas world.
And that's one of the things I've noticed, that you guys don't hesitate to talk shop, like real goss, hot goss.
No, at this point we use our ability to pretend like we're still trying to make it here in Vegas.
Yeah.
Just for stories.
Yeah.
Like at this point I only audition for commercials for the podcast.
That's actually, I was
100%
going to
true.
ask, like
That's 100%
so
true.
at some level, well, I'll write some good material of how
Yeah.
terrible this is going.
Yeah, it's just like, oh god, this commercial pays $300 for a car dealer. Yeah.
So
I
wait,
gotta
hold
play.
on. Hey, let's go just real quick back.
Oh no, that's good, Brody. That's good, Brody.
No.
I'm so sorry.
What?
They were drunk. They were on coke. Okay.
Manfred appears. I knew it. The jock versus nerd thing. Like, what was the initial just kind of idea?
Paul
It was like,
and I-
I'm a nerd, I'm a jock, and now let's sing together.
What's fascinating?
You like sports,
I can't
and I like
believe you
balls.
just stole into my story.
That's it.
No, Paul and I, if it weren't for improv comedy, we like never
Yeah.
have crossed paths. Like never. We just don't have any mutual interest whatsoever. So I thought it'd be really funny if I tried to convince him to watch some sporting event, and he tried to get me into some comic book or something each episode.
Gotcha.
And so
So you were like pitching each other on a thing.
because we really have zero interest in each other's other interests.
Yeah, so the
We have none.
conceit is we quiz each other. We started off just quizzing each other. I would ask him a nerd-centric question.
Yeah.
He would ask me a jock-centric question. And if one of the other's knowledge base wound up somehow circuitously finding its way into that other one, they would win if they won, if they got it, right?
Okay, wait, but at some point, one of you would be a little jock curious, the other might be a little nerd curious. Like,
Yes.
has that filtered in at all?
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah?
Actually, one of the biggest things that Paul
One
is
of you shows up with the Superman shirt. It's like, well, hello.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying.
I have a Batman thing.
Fetish.
Yeah, fetish is the word.
Yes. Tell me about it.
He shows up. He's like, I'm helping the podcast. I talk this way all the time now.
And it's a weird fetish because instead of wanting to just
Say it to me.
instead of wanting to fuck women that are dressed like Batman, I like to only fuck men that played Batman dressed as women. It's a really difficult fetish.
It is.
really hard.
It is.
It's very hard.
And,
But
and
most, like,
Val Kilmer
Chris-
blocked your number.
Clooney, put on this wig. It doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. But once Affleck came around, my optimism went way up.
Yeah, because he's 2 movies from a Tu Wong Fu redo, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, listen, like, I'll catch him in some off-brand poker game deep enough.
Right, you're right.
It's like all you got to do to get out of it is.
No, Paul is a big. He's an avid toy collector, huge toy collector. Now I have 2 children, and so now the big mutual interest is that he and I now talk toys.
We do. I went out as soon as the Cars 3 stuff hit, and I grabbed some stuff that I was like, oh, this is probably going to be hard to grab,
Yeah,
hard
Paul
to find.
knows in advance like what's going to be rare, and my oldest kid's now in the age where he wants particular things. Like it's not like I can just get him stuff and he's happy to have stuff.
You can now screw up. It's like, it used to be you got a free pass whenever you showed up with, like, hey, Daddy's great. It's like, Dad,
it's a
you're
blue
fuck
car.
up.
It's a red car. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Now it's like, no, I need the specific thing. And so now I am going to Paul like, fuck, Keeler's asking for this kind of Lightning
Yeah.
McQueen that only came out after
This
Cars
isn't
2.
the car that was voiced by Ray Liotta.
Right.
And Paul Beck, you're not going to find that on Amazon. You got to go through eBay. You got to go through this site. You got to go through that site. And he knows like where to find the rare stuff. So
And sorry, so that was the initial conceit, and
Yeah.
then you guys, I assume, just became like the vibe was the show, and
Yeah.
it became this different thing. Right?
And we also, like Matt will tell you too, we have guests on from time to time, but more often than not, we find like our audience prefers us to just bullshit with each other most of the time.
yeah.
That's one of the things that I'm so jealous of is that you guys get to always do the show, or you insist on always doing the show in person, face to face, and the speed and the energy and the improv vibe. You can feel that kind of come on. We've had to build a strange monstrosity with Night Attack that's very much because it's all over Skype. Where it's like there's no interrupting, no building right on in real time. It's got to be like, well, I'll wait 4 seconds for the next opportunity for me to build
No,
on that.
Right.
Paul must be interrupted. So
Yeah, it's
that
true.
would not-
It's true. And
That would
I'll
not
say
work.
and I'll say we're lucky because a couple episodes in, we had started off, without we were working with Ready Rich from PSS, but then Jacob is the secret sauce. You guys know that, right? Jacob.
And by secret you mean sexy.
Sexy sauce.
Paul and
the
I brought
sexy
zero
sauce.
sex appeal.
Yeah.
to the show.
Well, I mean,
Which, by the way, was left in that cab back in the 80s. Sexy sauce.
Jacob was driving
It's a great
cab.
time.
He
So
tweaked our
tight.
nipples. We were like, "Do you do audio?" He said yes.
Yeah. But he fit in perfectly, and he makes us sound amazing. He's like he's the greatest. Give him a round of applause. He's amazing. He said all this. Jacob came in today and set all this shit up while we overslept. That's how this fucking machine works. Jacob takes care of it.
Nobody gaffed. Nobody went, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, right. Right?
You don't say.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
Did the sun also come up, Paul?
Indeed. But that's our symbiosis. That's how the machine works. We are the lamprey to his shark.
All right. Well, for fans of Night Attack, you of course can see Ice Cream Social. Just find it. You jerks.
Look at HeyScoops.com or search for Matt and Mattingly's Ice Cream Social in any podcast app. You can also watch us live on Twitch at thebucketshow.com.
Hey, when's Jacob going to be on the album art?
The album art?
Yeah. I only see a picture of 2 cartoons of a jock and a nerd right now. I was confused. I'm always like, why does Paul sometimes have a southern accent and sometimes not?
Jacob's likeness rights are more expensive than Paul.
That's the truth.
It's like when Michael Jordan was never in any of the video games in the 90s.
Like, where is he in NBA Jam?
It's like you had to do a secret code to unleash a guy who kind of looked
Prickle
like him.
Spordon.
Man, I think we're out of time. I think that was it. Wow, that was fast. Thank you so much, everybody. Applaud for the people who are hosting us.
Is there anything? I mean, I feel like the show is C+. So
Is their show? You're judging their show.
Oh no, our
right?
show. What we
no.
just did right
Okay.
now.
Got it.
So is there anything else that we want to say to this audience, this live audience? that is seeing-
We love you guys.
Is that a C+? You really crushed here. You really did very well.
Well, we have self-esteem problems.
Okay.
It's kind of baked into our DNA. Fishing. No, I say we wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. We had a fantastic time. We're Night Attack. We love you guys.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.